Okay. All right, it's been a couple days. Got a little busy. Let's get back to the shelves. All right, so the last time I talked, I think I cut the pieces for the shelves, but I never put them together, and I said I would do them the next day. You can see a mattress over there, so there's a project I got a little distracted with. But today I want to finish up those shelves, so they're sitting over there. I'm gonna cut the end pieces and put them together. So since I'm making end pieces for these shelves, I know that it has to be the width of the entire shelf once put together. So I can actually just go ahead and put the pieces on here, then slide the shelf all the way, slide the fence all the way over to the blade and lock that in. So then now I can actually go ahead and cut a piece of board that is exactly the length that I need to go from the front of the shelf to the back of the shelf. I actually have a few pieces of scrap wood. Hey, look at that. I think this is a 1x6. I'm literally just gonna shave off, not even an eighth, maybe a 16th. All right, so I can use that. And there's another one. Ooh, yeah, let's try that. Might be able to just use these 1x6. Yeah, I always have a bunch of scrap wood laying around, so if I can go ahead and reuse them, that'll be the best of both worlds, because basically parts of the shelf is free. Now, I don't keep every piece of scrap wood, but you know, something like this is bound to become useful at one point or another. So I ended up keeping them. And here we go. I can make 4 ends of the shelves out of wood that I would have thrown away. All right, so now that I have my 4 sets of shelf ends, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that they bow inwards. So if you look at here, you can see that the pieces actually bow a little bit. So instead of bowing them outward, I'm going to flip one. Actually, I'm going to flip both. Actually, there we go. Now that I flip both, they bow inwards towards each other, so that if I clamp them and glue them together, the bow is actually going to keep it taut instead of trying to pull away from each other at the ends. I basically have to make a cut at an angle so that the shelf would cut from here to the end of here. I'd place them like so, then make sure that the back is flush with the front here. Then just go ahead and make a little mark. Then on the front side, I'd make sure that that's flush and make a little mark there. Basically go from point A, line it up to point B, and scribe it. So then I would go ahead and put it on the crosscut sled and cut from here to here, right across. So now that I have the end pieces cut, I would actually go ahead and assemble these 3 pieces first, and then put the ends on, then clamp it lengthwise. But there you go. That's the idea behind the shelf. I don't know if you realize, but I don't like to measure things as much as I should. If I want to make multiples of these, instead of measuring every single one, I'm going to take this little sliver that I cut off, because you know this is the right angle that I need it, and attach it to a scrap piece of wood. Then what will happen is when I put it on here and I butt this up against a flat surface, you know what? I'm just going to show you. All right, so what I did was I attached that piece that I cut off to this scrap piece of wood. And if I put this right here against this fence, the crosscut sled, I can add a piece of wood. And as long as I have this butt up against here, you can see that this will cut exactly the right size, length, and angle that I need off of every piece of wood without having to measure them. Maybe you can call this being lazy, but I call it not using extra brain cells if I don't need to. I just cut the remaining pieces a lot quicker and a lot more consistently just by using that scrap of wood that I had. Hey, that looks pretty good. Everything lines up. We're gonna go ahead and start putting it together. I'm gonna use some of these clamps to hold it in place while everything gets fitted together. Gotta remember to change the direction of discharge. All right, let's try that again. You know, what's the difference between wood glue and Elmer's glue? And if wood glue is made for wood, then what is Gorilla Glue made for? Oh no! It moved! I mean, really, I should be clamping this, but who's got time for those pipe clamps over there? Later, if my wife asks me what I made in the garage, I'll be like, I made some door stops. Oh, but in all seriousness though, these are done now, so I can just go ahead and sand them, then I'll paint them, probably just white, and have them mount. Ooh! Am I glad I didn't hold it like this when I was shooting nails in here. Because, look at that. That would hurt. Oh, come on. This is like the 5th time I'm opening this and I still can't get this open. I've purchased you already. Let me open you. Whoop, there we go. This has a strange smell. It's like, kind of smells like fresh carpets. Weird. This cord reel is the best thing I've ever installed. Water break. Yeah, just something else on my mind this week. It's definitely a week to hold strong and buy more in the stock market. Overall, it took a dive. So I focused on work, I focused on other stuff, and just try not to panic. Don't be selling. Instead, do your research, understand why it's dropping, and take advantage of heavy discounted companies to buy in. You see all these big red numbers, you just don't panic. Everything will be just fine. Just fine. So I'm gonna be like a shelf. Just hold. Hold and stay steady. Okay. Now I know my woodworking skills are nothing to call home about, so you're not really watching just for that. And I realized that this is a great channel to, yeah, I know, I love these gloves. My wife was staining the bed and these are the outcome. I realized that in 2020, distance is irrelevant in this day and age. I found myself trying to reconnect more with those that I've never seen, or not never seen, but I hardly ever see. We start calling our family members a bit more in 2020 just because we know that we physically can't see them anymore. And with that, I've started to realize that I reach out to some of my closer friends just day-to-day random chats and messages. And that's the best way to keep in touch with someone. Make it not feel awkward. Like today, for instance, I just got a call from my cousin out of the blue, and I haven't spoken to that guy in about a year or so. And it wasn't anything awkward. So that's the best part of trying to keep in touch with someone. So I know, I have a few friends in my life that we can just kind of pick up the phone and start talking again, even after not seeing each other for months. And those are the kind of people you want in your life. So I make a point to reach out every now and then, just to say hi, for no particular reason. Sometimes just to have lunch if I'm in the area, or it's like, I try not to call people only because I need them. If I always only ever reach out when I need somebody, it's not really a friendship. It's kind of like a resource. And I want to maintain that open dialogue where you can tell me about anything that's going on in your day. If you have a rough work day and you just want to blow off steam, or if we want to catch up over a new TV show, that's the kind of friends I want in my life. Those are the kind of friends that will stick around during a pandemic and keep you company from close or from afar. So it doesn't have to stop with just friends I meet in person. Heck, one of my friends is in California and we talk, on a weekly basis about all kinds of stuff. Actually, turns out a lot of our friends are quite a bit of distance away, but we maintain that good communication and it helps keep friendships alive. But yeah, I think I realized I'm doing more of these videos as a way to connect with people rather than a tutorial or like a how-to. I want to tell you my story, and hopefully, I don't know, we can build some type of community or friendship in the long run. But anyways, so I'm just gonna finish this up really quickly and call it a night, but this is what the shelves are gonna look like. They're gonna be just pure white. I'm gonna hang this in the room tomorrow, and I'll show you how it goes. All right, that's it tonight. Good night, everyone. Sleep tight.